I ended up harvesting 4 deer this year. 3 from Tuscarawas County and 1 from Harrison County. Um, but this season was a little different, was a little odd compared to others. And I have a working theory as to why early archery season and some of the archery seasons wasn't as productive as what they've normally been in the past. And now I don't think it's the drought that we had kind of played into this, but I really seriously think it was the abnormal acorn crop that we had this year that really kind of changed what that part of the season looked like. You there?
Yeah, no, I'm here. Uh, yeah, if you got food at home, why would you go out?
Yeah, and I heard a lot of people complain like, "Oh, it's everybody with their corn piles. Corn piles are doing this." I'm like, I don't think it's the corn piles. I really seriously think because I don't have deer coming to my stuff right now. Like they're not coming to it because they don't have to. And I think that was a big problem for most people was that you couldn't walk in the woods and anywhere that I hunted without stepping on an acorn or a pile of acorns. So instead of the deer having to converge on like one or two hot acorn trees, they were everywhere. So you didn't see them in masses like you have in the past. That's why I think is the majority of what the issue was this year. That's my opinion.
So with the bounty of food, with the acorn and the corn and everything else, with the deer that you harvested, did you notice any difference in the fat content on the deer?
They were fat. they, they were there was a lot of fat. Even the buck I shot during gun season, he still was packing a lot of fat on him, which normally for a buck, because we're on the tail end of the rut, usually by that point they're pretty emaciated. Not I can't say like emaciated, but they definitely have lost body weight by then. He was still packing a good bit of fat on him.
Which is a good indicator, especially with, the winter you guys recently had roll in. And so you've got big, fat, healthy toes that are going to give birth to hopefully very healthy fawns this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the hope. But yeah, I don't. That was my experience of the early season because could not get a mature animal in front of me, and I had some like younger bucks, maybe a couple like button bucks, some like doe fawns that came within bow range. I didn't see anything of any maturity get within bow range of me, and I honestly was getting scared, to be honest with you. I was afraid that some of the farms were hit with the HD because it was in the air. Like everyone was talking about it, and but every time I go to a farm and kind of walk around, like there was no evidence of it. There's no dead deer laying and what water sources were still there. Like there was no evidence of that. And you're left to ask, well, where did all the deer go? And now I understand, and one of the guys that well, I don't know, but one of the property owners, it's every year like the bucks disappear. I don't know where they're going, where they go. It's like, but it's every year. They do that every year. Like they're there for the summer, and then once the antlers start to harden and the velvet falls off, they don't want to be around each other, and they start scurrying off to their own little areas. But it would once again that acorn harvest or the acorn drop didn't help any of that because once again they didn't have to like come to a specific food source. It was just everywhere. Yeah, point on a map, the deer could walk there, and I guarantee you there's probably a pile of acorns there for them. Actually, I still think there are acorns that have rotted by now on the ground because there was just too many of them. They couldn't eat all of them.
Well, and hopefully that's a good sign for the deer population too, with CWD on everybody's mind and the discussion around that with corn piles and how CWD is transmitted so easily. Maybe this acorn crop helps spread the deer out and kind of keep them from lumping up to one food source and kind of help avert the spread of that a little.
Yeah.